Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Many devotees ask, so how do we know that we are experiencing real sweetness in devotion? I mean to say, I am just exaggerating my point. Very few devotees have this question, and in fact, I mean to say, most of the devotees might also think this question is irrelevant. They might not have even thought about this question, that whether the sweetness or the happiness I am experiencing in devotion, that's the real sweetness and real happiness. Now, devotees presume that whatever happiness and sweetness they're experiencing in devotion, that has to be true and genuine. But that's not the case, because many of the acharyas and Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas are very critical of this point. Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, he is very critical of this point in his commentaries. Srila Prabhupada is very critical, and they want to know whether the experience, whether our experience in devotion, that's true or it's an illusion. Whether experience in devotion is giving us true sweetness of divinity, of God, or it is simply a euphoria of our mind. So how do we know that our experience is true and not an illusion or mental fabrication or a sentiment? There's a beautiful verse in Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 27th verse, and it says, Prashanta manasam hyenam yoginam sukham uttamam upaiti shanta rajasam brahma bhutam akalmasham. And here in this verse, there are 4 symptoms of true experience in devotion. And what Bhagavad Gita says, this is Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter 27th verse, it says, Prashanta manasam hyenam yoginam sukham uttamam. The first symptom is sukham uttamam. Now you have to carefully understand this word sukham uttamam. Sukham in Sanskrit, sukham is a Sanskrit word. In English it means happiness, and uttamam means topmost happiness. So the idea is, what is topmost happiness? Or topmost is not a technical word. The technical meaning of uttamam is transcendental happiness, happiness beyond modes of material nature. Now what that means is, material happiness is only happiness, material distress is distress, but transcendental happiness is happiness which carries distress within it. Because when we are within modes of material nature, when we are conditioned, we think that we are not, we think we are okay, we don't need God. Or people think we are with God, people who do meditation and whatever. But when you're beyond modes of material nature, when you're beyond conditioned life, you immediately realize we are disconnected with God. We are here and God is in His kingdom. So that disconnection immediately produces grief in our soul. Immediately when you are out of your illusion, out of your box, you realize millions of lifetimes I didn't inquire into absolute truth. I never understood God. I never cared about understanding God. I never cared about serving Him. Millions of lifetimes. And this gives intense grief to the soul. And this grief mixed with happiness, there is a happiness also because at least we know about God. But there is an intense grief that I am not in contact with Him. So Sukham Uttamam means when a true experience in devotion, if you are experiencing true sweetness, the symptom will be you will experience happiness and distress in combined fashion, and that's possible. If you're only experiencing happiness, that's false. Your experience of devotion, your sweetness, taste is false. If you're only experiencing distress, then you need a psychiatrist. You don't need a temple. If you experience happiness within and distress outside, then you are a sentimentalist, a sahijya as we call. But if you're experiencing happiness outside and distress inside, that will tell you and prove to you you're experiencing true sweetness of God, true sweetness of divinity. That is called Sukham Uttamam. That's the first sign or symptom of true devotion, or true taste of sweetness. Second is Upayati Shanta Rajasam. Now Shanta Rajasam means, Upayati Shanta Rajasam. Shanta Rajasam means that the modes of passion will dampen, it will slow down, it will vanish. In other words, you will lose interest in material desires. This is the second symptom. You will lose interest in those things which you were really interested before you came to devotion. And now you will find, my God, these things for which I was mad after experiencing true sweetness of God, they will no longer look interesting. That means your experience is true. The third symptom is Upayati Brahmabhutam. Brahmabhutam means if your experience of devotion, if your experience of sweetness of God is true, then your will unite with the will of God, and you will experience name, form and qualities and pastimes of Lord within your heart. That's the third symptom. And the fourth one is Akalmasham. Akalmasham means you will be free from all pastful sinful deeds. In other words, you will be free of all bad habits and bad qualities, and you will develop all good qualities which are found in God, because when you're connected with God, all those qualities will imbibe in your heart. You will absorb all those qualities because you're meditating on God. So your life will become full of good qualities, divine qualities, as they say. So if this is happening in your life, if these four symptoms and signs are there in your life, maybe not full blown or 100%, but even to the slightest extent, that means we are having true experience of devotion. We are tasting true sweetness of God and divinity. Hare Krishna. Thank you.